we go. Today, we're going to be doing a left-right circuit. So left-right circuit means you're going to do everything with your left, holding the weight in your left hand, and then everything holding the weight in your right hand. So what that looks like today, one movement kind of flows into the next. So if you forget where you are, it's easy to kind of remember where you're supposed to be because the weight is right where you would start the next exercise. So for example, we've got, it's really 1.5 Turkish get-ups. So if you think of two, you just don't go back down, right? So on the last get-up, you're going to be up and you'll be holding the weight over your head. And then we do 6 shoulder presses from right there. At the bottom of your last shoulder press, you'll hold the weight here and do a reverse lunge. So we step back, and then from there you're doing 6 bicep curls, and then you're on the last bicep curl, the weight will be down, and you do an SLDL. Okay, so these are all movements that we know. We're just kind of stringing them together in a little bit different way. And so it's the way we're doing it is we're going to have 3 minutes to get through both sides, right? So you'll do all of those, the get-ups, shoulder press, reverse lunge, bicep curl, and SLDL in essentially 1.5 minutes, and then switch sides and do all of those in 1.5 minutes. And then we'll take a 30-second break. We're going to go through that circuit 4 times, okay? So I'll obviously be walking everybody through, but let's go ahead and roll it out. Depending on the workload this weekend, you might be pretty beat up, sore, tired, or if you took a nice vacation weekend, you might not be. But either way, it's important to roll. We'll just start off in your hips, rolling around, finding spots that are sore, finding spots that are talking to you a little bit more than others. If you find one of those spots, take a little extra time with it. Crossing that ankle over your knee if needed. I'll always guide through these, but I mean, at this point, you probably know what you want to roll and know what feels good. But the reason I still guide through is just because a lot of times you kind of have your favorites that you roll all the time, and other stuff doesn't get the attention. So we just want to make sure we're well-rounded in this. All right, let's roll over, rolling the front of your thighs. So if you remember this, there's 4 sides of your legs, essentially. You think of front, back, side, side. We want to make sure we're rolling all of those parts. So we'll roll over to your side, rolling down the outside of your leg here. And then roll over to your side. Still on the same leg. We're going to prop your knee up. We're rolling the inside of your thigh. And let's switch sides. So let's go back to rolling the front of your leg. Be on the other leg now. Rolling over towards the outside. And finally, rolling over on, you're laying on the ground on your side. Pop your knee up on the roller. And rolling back and forth, rolling the inside of that leg. Okay, I'll put this in the chat one more time. All right, so moving the roller up along your back, just underneath your shoulder blades. We're gonna give yourself a roll there. Go arms out to the side, arms up over your head. Give yourself a big hug. And we're good there. All right, so starting off on your back, we're just gonna press hips up and hold. So we're press up and hold. From there, we're gonna do a floor slide. So we move those hands up into the letter Y. Slide your forearms right along the floor. So we're gonna reach up and back for 20 seconds. Keeping your hips up, heels through the floor. Five more seconds. And relax, let's go. Both feet up in the air. So if you need the hamstring stretch here or need help with the hamstring stretch, you can go ahead and hold the back of one leg. If not, we just freeze right here. Make your belly nice and strong. We'll drop a heel down to tap the floor. Come back up and let's alternate. So we're alternating legs here. We're gonna go for about 20 seconds. I'll tell you when halfway is. So if you're holding your leg, you can go ahead and switch at that time. Halfway. And relax. Good. Okay, so let's roll over on your side. Fingertips going together. This time we're going to open and stay open. So keep your knees stacked right up on top of each other. Just open your chest up towards the ceiling. Try to relax your head. Each time you breathe, so as you exhale, you're going to try to sink into that stretch just a little bit more. So we inhale, exhale, sink into the stretch. And good, let's go other side. Curl your knees up even with your waistband, stack your knees right on top of each other. And we open up. Again, checking in with those knees, making sure they're out right on top of each other. Staying open another 10 seconds. Remember, on the exhale, you'll be sinking down into that stretch just a little bit more. And good. All right, let's go to all fours. So you're going to be on all fours here. One leg goes out to the side. And we'll just move your hips back and forth here, sitting into a groin stretch. Moving hips forward and backward. And switch sides. And good. Let's go push-up position. So we're just going to push your hips up towards the sky and come back to that push-up position. So we're just kind of folding in half here. Think about yourself making an upside down letter V, and then back to the push-up position. And we'll go for 20 seconds here. Let your heels drop as your hips rise up. Let your heels drop in the back. So roll through these as you feel like you need to. We've got another 5 seconds. And walk your hands into your feet. Keep them on the floor. We're going to walk them right back out into that push-up position. We're doing 5 stationary inchworms. And once you're done there, go ahead and stand. And let's just alternate some reverse lunges here. We'll go for about 20 seconds, just stepping back with one foot, stepping back with the other. Ten more seconds. Okay. And good. All right, before we get going here, I'm just going to give a quick refresher course on the Turkish get up. Obviously, there's a lot going on there. But just remember, whatever hand you're holding the weight in, that knee is going to be bent. So if I'm holding the weight in my left hand, my left knee is going to be bent. The weight's up towards the ceiling there. Always keep the weight as close to the ceiling as you can. So I'm going to come up onto an elbow, prop myself up with my hand, put my knee on the ground, and then we stand up from there, okay? So the 2 things you remember, if you remember 2 things, it's whatever side the weight is on, bend that knee, and then that foot that's flat on the floor is going to stay flat on the floor the whole time. So that foot should almost be like glued to the ground, okay? So we've got 2 Turkish get-ups, or really 1.5. You're going to go all the way up, all the way down, and then all the way up and just stay up. Once you get to the top there, you've got, so on your last get-up, bring your feet together, and we do the 5 or 6 shoulder presses. From there, you're going to hold the weight on your shoulder and do a reverse lunge, or 6 of them. From there, we do 6 bicep curls. So the weight comes up and down. On the last curl, it's down by your side. Then we do an SLDL. Okay, then we start the whole process over again for the other side. Okay? Any questions on those? Okay. They're all things that we know. We're just putting them together in a fun new way. Okay? So you got 3 minutes to finish both sides. Whatever's left of that 3 minutes, if you have time, is your time to rest. And then we'll have 30 seconds on the timer to rest, and then we'll go back through again. Okay, so we go through this 4 times. If you do the math, that's not a very long workout, but there's lots of work. There's only 30 seconds of rest in between each one, so only really 4 minutes of rest. Okay? All right. Cecily, it seems like you're distracted. That's okay. Lots of stuff going on. Okay, ready? So we'll start with the get-ups in 3, 2, 1, and here we go. So a get up and a half right into the shoulder press. On the get up, it helps if you keep your eyes on the weight. If you don't have a kettlebell, like if you're using a dumbbell and this holding the weight up on your shoulder isn't comfortable, you can go ahead and drop it down to your side like this. No problem there. Yeah. A good rule of thumb for this, for the SLDL and the reverse lunge, whatever foot is going back, you'll have the weight on that side. Thirty seconds left. Ten seconds. And time. Good. 30 seconds to rest. One thing I forgot to mention, if you want to, go through all 6 or all 5 movements and then go backwards, it just saves you a trip to the floor and saves a little bit of time. The next time through, start with the hand that you just ended with. So if you just did your SLDLs with the weight in your left hand, we'll start the get-ups in the left hand. Ready? And here we go. We should be at a steady pace here, but not rushing. Minute 45 left. So after you finish the SLDL, if you switch hands and go right back to an SLDL on the other side, you can work your way through backwards. Saves you a little bit of time. Minute 20 left here. Thirty seconds. Five seconds left. 3, 2, 1, and 30 seconds rest. So we're halfway through. So whatever hand you just finished up with, you're going to start with that hand again. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. A lot of the challenge in this circuit comes from the weight that you choose. So if you want to kick it up, use a little bit heavier weight if you can. Halfway there, a minute and a half left. 45 seconds. Thirty seconds left. $15. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, 30 seconds to rest. One more time going through. Last time for the day here, guys. Remember, you're going to start with the other hand. Or I should say start with the hand that you finished with. 5 seconds. Last 3 minutes of work here. And we're off. Here we go. Minute 45 left. One minute. $25 seconds left. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. All right. Just taking a second here. Start to get your breath back. Whether you're seated or standing, make sure you're nice and tall from your tailbone all the way up through the tip of your head. Once you're able to control your breath a little bit more, you can start to match it to your heartbeat. On these breaths, you can either pause for a second, so inhale, pause for 2 beats, and then exhale, or you can just go in and out, whatever helps you coordinate things better. Let's take another 3 breaths. All right, so if you were seated, move to standing. If you were lying down on your back, move to seated. So we just move one position up. Again, we're still thinking as tall as you can get from your tailbone to the top of your head. Keeping those hips in a nice neutral position. Sometimes it helps to think of a weight hanging from your tailbone. Just keeping your hips nice and level. Let's take 2 more breaths. Last breath. Hang on, gang, let me write stuff down here. All right. So once I call your name, I got you written down. Cecily David Elaine. Jen, Lillian Sophie, Steve. Sung Hee and Ted. Okay. Guys, have an awesome day today. Thanks for jumping on this morning. Hope you had a great holiday weekend.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll see you.
Thanks, Brian.
You got it. Bye, Sung.
Thanks, Brian. See you later.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. You bet. Bye, Lily, Sophie.
Thank
Bye.
you.